Hi, Aquarius. Welcome to your next 2 weeks, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. And let's just kind of get started. I did clear the board with the singing bowl. It took longer than normal for it to really kind of blossom and kind of spread out and come into its fullness. So let's keep that in mind when we go through this reading. It may be that there are going to be some things that it's not necessarily that you're not going to align with it, but you might have to come back or keep at it with regard to being able to make it useful. So we're going to do past energy, present energy, future energy, and looking at the here and now and pulling the past and the future together with that center row. So let's get started here. Again, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Next 2 weeks from the original source, the original one, the original word. Some Akash may come through. That might be something that we're going to be able to get some information from. One of the things a lot of people do, they'll ask for angels, guides, guardians, etc., and that's great. I accept all of that. However, it's got to be benevolent to us, Aquarius. It has to be something that I feel like that's kind of limiting because we have access to so much more within this who and what we are in this place. So it could be something multidimensional coming in, and some of those might be even future, might be from other, not just dimensions, but realms. Could be from others on this thing we call Earth. Okay, so I'm being asked to just deal it from the top. And we'll probably get more clarifiers from this, but essentially deal it from the top. Okay. We're going to start with the past. This is our energy, Aquarius, and we're going to look at what it is in a combination, basically the foundational and the clarifier, and then the outcome. Funny. This is going to be about relationships. Relationships could be, this is either, depending on who and where you're at, this is a developed, well matched relationship with your higher self or with your partner. Okay, now I picked this up, but the first card I saw was this, but there's another card behind it. So this is going to be our partner with this. So there are two lovers, but we also have the Two of Pentacles. So this is well matched, and we've been flexible. Some people say, well, there's been some indecision. With that indecision, it feels like that there's been a process. There has been justice, a balancing act going on. And it's not to assign judgment, it is justice. So there's something that you've had a very healing, challenging past relationship. Let's see if it's in the future or actually in the current. So this is the Knight of Pentacles. So this Knight of Pentacles, it's like he's traversing two worlds, traversing both worlds. And I'm not talking dimensionally per se, but it's more of a situation with relationships. And it's this intimate relationship. The two lovers, and then this was something that may have brought into question some grounding aspects to that relationship. Mm. It has been very challenging. The King of Swords, he knows his stuff. He's been through it, and he sticks to it. That King of Swords really sticks to the task. And if there's a challenge, the King of Swords is going to be the one to figure it out, how to make it work, has the wisdom and the experience and the knowledge. So right now, this has been very fulfilling. And it's only because this relationship has been to it and through it. So here's the thing. If you've been finding it's been hugely challenging, the work's not done and it never gets done because this is Eight of Pentacles. And I guess that, there's some resignation in the fact that it is going to continue, both the relationship, but so is the challenge, because in the challenge there is growth. It is going to be more challenging. So I guess what we're being asked to look at, because there are some big challenges and not being hypersensitive, that's going to be something to overcome. Is that healing? Heal as much as you can. Don't rest on your laurels is the overall idea, I guess. So this is a Chariot. So there's some emotion here. There's this is a Cancerian card. So there's some emotion. There's some control, and I kind of feel like yin yang is happening here. The dark and the light, the positive, the negative, the feminine, the masculine, and it's going to be an integration process. There are some very deep connections here that maybe haven't been acknowledged quite yet. Those deep connections, you may or may not be aware of who and what they are. It's not necessarily going to even be with a person. Could be with a pet. Could be with a coworker. Could be, who knows? Let's get some clarity on the integration of these three aspects: our past experiences and our future endeavors, and integrating them into the here and now. Let's kind of take a look at that. Challenges, sometimes we are going to find it undoable if we don't ask for help, and please do. If you need another set of eyes on something, can sometimes help bring clarity to a situation. So please reach out if you would like to be part of a solutions group. Sometimes it's just me, and you email your question, your challenge, whatever that might be, and we meet for maybe about 30 minutes to go over what that means to you and what that might look like in a healing process. King of Cups. This feels like the here and now stuff and the relationship part. And this is what, having said all of this, our tapping into that mature emotion, there's something that is called emotional maturity. That's something that you have available to you, whether it's inside of you or outside of you. There's also a feeling of being maybe, it's not a full-blown skirmish, but you can feel that there's something on the horizon that's going to potentially cause some bumpy bits. And more so in the now than from the past. And it might even be a thing where you're starting to ebb this towards it's going to ebb away from the past, and you're going to bring that forward into the future. Do you really want to bring in turmoil from the past and make that part of your future? All right. So we can leave the past in the past, right? These skirmishes, and this is the lack of emotional maturity. This is just a passionate outburst. Wow. So the lovers have popped up again. And this is in the here and now, and when we grow through this immaturity, we have this pulling the lovers from the past, this, Ace of Pentacles, or Two of Pentacles, sorry, from the past to find equilibrium sort of in a sort of earthing way. And then we've got this heartfelt maturity that's flowing in. So it's like these guys are flowing in to make this all work. And then you've got this. This is not a bad thing because it's been brought to your awareness. This emotional maturity, maybe having a little bit of a skirmish, hurt feelings, don't let that fester. It's like, oh, it was not a big deal. That's not healthy either. But, if it is not a big deal, you should still address it because that may not be a big deal to you, but it might be to somebody else. Ooh, the magician. So the magician has all of the elements and has mastery over all of those elements. And this is looking like something we definitely want to pull in from the future. We want to pull this in to integrate in, and it'll make a smoother transition into our next phase of this relationship. And it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to stay in that relationship, but it's going to make it easier to integrate the situation that you're in. Let's get some more clarity on this relationship. It is a loving relationship too. It's not just the lovers, it's loving. And, people like to call things like unconditional love. There are always conditions. There's always going to be something that when someone steps outside of what you find acceptable, you're either going to address it, repair it, and learn from it, or you're going to be this and you're going to, that's going to fester, right? So let's see what kind of clarity we can get. Temperance. So temperance is a very much a card of justice, and we're going to have to rely on our history of remembering what the past was, what we've learned from it, not holding on to this skirmish, disappointment, argument, whatever it was, but learning from it, healing from it, and finding that temperance, Two of Pentacles, is a form of temperance. You notice in the justice, the scales are balanced equally. In temperance, that's a signature of strength. When you temper glass or you temper steel, it goes through those, hot and cold, but you never stray too far one from the other. There's always returning to center. You're always going to return to this. And this is kind of fun because this secret garden is not meant for one, it's meant for all. Right? I'm having a hard time seeing. I had the wrong glasses on. There we go. So this secret garden has 3 children in it, and it looks like butterflies. So sometimes we can think things, learn things, and those things we don't speak them. And we are going to have to be able to speak them, not necessarily with words, but they are going to have to be spoken. They're going to have to be spoken at some point. If they're not being spoken now, it might be helpful to do so. Clarity on that, please. Yeah, it is going to cause some unease. It is going to cause some discomfort. That's not bad because that's raising your awareness of something in the relationship is not whole. One more. All right, seek out the teachers. Seek out the teachers. Seek out those with greater wisdom than you. If you haven't done so already, it's something that's probably going to be a good idea. Because this 3 of Swords, if you look at this, is the 2 of Pentacles, which is quite balanced, and the thought and words of the King of Swords, very knowledgeable, it's gonna cause some discomfort. There's the unease over there. It's filtered up and over. However, with the teachers, that could help you integrate the benefits of healing the heart healing the thoughts and words, because you're going to hurt your heart. And that traditional card, it's 3 swords in the heart. And that's some of the cards are quite graphic, and they show, the blood leaking. And, you don't want to bleed out. There feels like for some, there's a risk of, don't ignore stuff. Don't just have that emotional maturity. Have that emotional maturity. Don't do what you've done in the past. Let's make sure that there's a positive energy. Right? If something doesn't come up immediately. So yeah, this is a very dynamic relationship, and it must be extremely important to you. It's something that's caused a great deal of pain in the past, but not overtly. It's not something that people see. And it feels like that if you continue to ignore this, you can live, pie in the sky sort of a thing, but off to the side, there's this unease. There's a history of, unhealed, maybe arguments, communications. Yeah. So let's see what. Oh my gosh, there's the 3. So yeah, remember? Oh my gosh, look at the hearts. Look at the hearts. Those are hearts. That's not something bleeding out. But didn't I say that this was here? Learn from the teachers. Learn from that spark that you had from the past. Something that sparks that healing, that warm-hearted feeling. I don't even know. This is kind of an interesting feel to it. So, yeah. And don't lose your way. Don't let go of the past, but allow yourself the time and space to do that healing. And that's going to be your map. Don't lose your way. Pay attention to the details, and you will receive clarity. Pretty straightforward, yeah? Very straightforward. One more. Alrighty. Aquarius, do like, share, and subscribe if you find this is helpful. Reach out, let me know, leave a comment. And if you want help getting through this, and you are finding you're struggling for that solution to whatever it is that you're finding is tremendously challenging, things might move a little quick in the near future. This is for 2 weeks, but this might go beyond. There's a lot of 2s here. I mean, there's 2 here, and there's 2 here, and there's 2 of Pentacles. There's 2 beings here as well. 2 and 2 sets of scales. Oh my word. 3 off the top. All right. We might be getting some from here. I don't know. A deep knowing. You will have the wisdom. If you don't have it within yourself, you will be seeking it out through your teachers, and they are trusted individuals that you either know or are about to know. And you are perfectly poised. You are in the perfect spot to do all of the integration. You are perfectly, poetically poised. One more. Oh my goodness. Breathe, 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 breathe. Meditate if you have to. If you do, find those micro moments that you can take that deep breath and exhale. You'll be bringing in the good and healthy and expelling those energies that no longer serve you. Nope, that's it. Again, Aquarius, thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate you and all that you do. As far as reaching out, please do so. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment, even if you don't need or feel the need to reach out right away. And, well, I will see you on the flip side. Bye.